Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm really glad you're here today because we've got a big, fast-moving story to break down together, and I'm really curious to hear what you think about it as we go. So grab a seat, settle in, and let's talk about the latest development. President Trump has now said he would sign a bill to release the Jeffrey Epstein files if it reaches his desk. Now, whether you've been following the Epstein story closely for years or you're just catching up, this moment is important. So let's walk through what's happening, why it matters, and what questions we should all be asking. First, a quick recap. For a long time, the Epstein case has been surrounded by unanswered questions, whispers about powerful connections, and a huge public demand for transparency. Recently, a bill in Congress called the Epstein Files Transparency Act made its way to the forefront. The goal of the bill is simple on paper: force the release of all unclassified documents tied to Epstein's activities. Now here's where things get interesting. President Trump had previously dismissed these calls for releasing the files, sometimes referring to them as politically motivated distractions. But just recently, he made a sharp turn. Speaking from the Oval Office, he said he's all for it and that he would sign the bill if it came to his desk. He even encouraged lawmakers to move the process forward. That's a pretty big shift. And it makes you wonder, what changed? Was it public pressure? The fact that members of Congress from both sides of the aisle came together to force a vote? Or did he simply decide it was better politically to support transparency rather than appear to block it? What do you think prompted this shift? Genuine support for openness or a strategic move? I'd really love to hear your thoughts. Let's look at why this is happening now. In Congress, lawmakers used a mechanism called a discharge petition, basically a way to force a bill onto the floor when leadership is blocking it. Once enough signatures were gathered, the House had to take it up. Some lawmakers have even said there may be over 100 Republicans ready to vote for the release of the files. Add growing public pressure, social media discussions, and global attention, and you have a momentum wave that's hard to ignore. But here's the key question. Even if the House passes it, is that the end of the road? Not at all. The bill still needs to make it through the Senate, where things could get much more complicated. Senators may raise concerns about redactions, victim privacy, national security, or legal restrictions. Even if the bill becomes law, it doesn't guarantee the release will be complete. Documents might be heavily redacted, delayed, or released in stages. So here's something worth thinking about. How much transparency is enough? Should absolutely everything be released, even if it reveals sensitive information? Or should some things remain redacted to protect individuals or ongoing investigations? What would you do if you had to make the call? Now, let's talk about the deeper political angle. President Trump's reversal is notable. It shows the influence of public opinion, party pressure, and the broader narrative around accountability. It also reminds us that political positions can shift, sometimes suddenly, when the environment changes. Whether you support or question the move, it's clear that transparency has become a powerful theme again. This story also resonates beyond the US. Even viewers watching from Kenya or anywhere else can appreciate the importance of transparency and holding powerful figures accountable. Governments everywhere face similar tensions: who gets to keep information private, who demands disclosure, and how institutions respond. So what happens next? The House will vote. The Senate will debate. And if the bill makes it through, President Trump has said he'll sign it. But the real test will come afterward. How quickly documents are released, how complete they are, and what they reveal or don't reveal. And when the files do come out, here's something I think we should all keep in mind. Pay attention not only to what's inside, but also to what might be missing. Sometimes omissions tell just as big a story as disclosures. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this breakdown or it helped you understand the situation better, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share it with someone who might want to join this conversation. And before you go, tell me in the comments, do you think this will lead to real, meaningful transparency? Or will the released files end up being heavily redacted or incomplete? I can't wait to read your thoughts. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.